Hey everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith, and today I'm going to be sharing a Bible journaling process video using the new Wholehearted Devotional Kit written by Becca. I'm going to be working on this session called Trust and journaling the first prompt in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 here in my Interleaved Journaling Bible. So I had an idea to create a fun geometric almost background on this whole plain sheet that I have to work with. So I've got a tray here with the kit and some kind of like coordinating pieces that I pulled to go with it. And you can see off to the right I have a photograph there that's going to make its way onto my page. It's actually going to be featured on today's page. So I'm just making sure that I have everything set up so I don't have to stop in the middle of what I'm doing. I'm going to use a Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayon. I'm using the color Sky Blue because I thought it went with the kit very well. And I'm just going to color onto a piece of plastic packaging that I'll later throw away. I'm going to dip a wet, thin paintbrush into the pigment and then paint intersecting lines in the background here. I kind of sketched this out so I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, but I just wanted vertical and horizontal lines top to bottom on my page intersecting and just kind of like creating an interesting background for this photograph and other pieces from the kit to rest on. This was super simple, and you could do this with just about anything. You could use crayons, markers, whatever you have. If you wanted to try this technique, you could totally make it work. With the Neocolor, there's no bleed through, as you can see, but it did make my page super crinkly. So I'm giving you a look here at the photograph that I'm using, and it looks quite old, as you can tell. I think it's like a 19th century photograph. And I'm going to layer it with this Look Up die cut that's included with the kit that Wilna hand lettered. These things are so beautiful. And then I have just a piece of random vellum that I found the other day cleaning up my craft space, so I thought I'd use it today. And then because there are just so many gorgeous hearts included in this kit, I wanted to pull some of the yellow from the top right of that word look by bringing in one of these yellow fabric hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and layer that behind the title just to bring a little more color to the page. Like I mentioned, I'm working on the session called Trust. And Becca points us to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. Verse 6 goes on to say, in all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. I don't know about you, but I've heard quite a few sermons over the years preached on Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And in the beginning of this year, my pastor preached on it, but he included an illustration that made me think of this passage differently than I had before, and it kind of helped me understand it a little better. He included this photograph, and that's what this little visual reminder is for. So he introduced us to a French man by the name of Charles Blondin, who was, I think, the first to walk across the gorge of Niagara Falls on a tightrope. You can read a little bit about it on smithsonianmag.com, but it says on their website, Blondin walked backward to Canada and returned to the U.S., pushing the wheelbarrow on the tightrope over that gorge. It says 2 weeks later, he somersaulted and backflipped his way across, occasionally pausing to dangle from the cable by one hand. Shortly after that, he made another crossing, and after a brief rest, appeared on the Canadian end of the cable with Harry Colcord clinging to his back. Blondin gave his manager the following instructions. Look up, Harry. You are no longer Colcord. You are Blondin. Until I clear this place, be a part of me, mind, body, and soul. If I sway, sway with me. Do not attempt to do any balancing yourself. If you do, we will both go to our death. In his sermon, he noted that the Hebrew word for trust meant to lean in with your full body, to rest your full weight upon something. So in this case, lean in to the Lord, rest your full weight upon him. But when things lean or sway with the Lord, don't try to counterbalance or try to do something on your own. As a problem solver by nature, that concept, that illustration just really hit home for me. And I love how Becca touched on it too in her devotional. She says, what are you holding on to today? Our own understanding and power will never be enough, and it will always keep us from living a wholehearted life. Release it today, friend. Instead, embrace a life of confident expectation that He will take care of it for you. once I've finished my journaling and gluing things down, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my page with some black watercolor splatters. I'm going to very carefully add my date stamp at the bottom. I'm just noting the date of this sermon here so I can record that. And then I want to highlight the verses that I'm journaling today, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to use a blue marker, which you could also use for the lines over on the right if you wanted to, instead of a Neocolor. Add a stamp just to bring more color over to the side, and that is going to do it. So here is a finished look at my page along with a couple of close-ups. It's not too late to join us for the Wholehearted Devotional Kit. If you guys want to pick it up, it's linked down in the video description below for you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.